Yeah, but I remember it's kind of it's very old school in that way, and definitely it's taken a backseat because in the middle of my pro career, or just at the beginning, my second or third year in was when three guys, terribly committed suicide, and that's just it was. I think it was a mixture of the times, and they were tough, and there's, uh, it was more or less kids in junior, if they would do it willfully, okay, then they can do it at the professional level. And they were kind of thrown to the dogs. And then, but much like myself, it's you don't have the training. It's a lot of guys are operating out of fear, that fear for their job, fear they want to have a spot on the team, fear of their coaches. And so behind closed doors, guys just started, training and training specifically to play those 2 or 3 minutes a night, make their NHL money and have their NHL pension and have a good life. And who's going to give that up for a head injury that nobody else can see but yourself? So the league has come a long way. They've limited the amount of fights in junior because if you let the kids go, there's a lot of posturing and there's a lot of, unspoken body language that, the fear. You don't want to give in because if you give in, that guy's got the edge on you. So you see 18-year-olds fighting 30 times a year, and that doesn't pan out too well if they don't have help. So that's why I'm thankful I had help and I trained properly to defend myself. But it's something that it's done a lot better now because because of the salary cap, they can't pay someone on the bench for 2 minutes just to be an enforcer. So you have to go out there and you have to be able to play the game. You have to keep up.
You actually have to have skills, not just be a tough guy.
You have to have skill. You have to be able to pass. You have to know the plays, know the systems. You have to be of use on a power play or a penalty kill or shut down, play defense, not be a liability. And if you can incorporate that with an extra bit of your game, okay, so you can, play a little bit more on edge, play a little bit more in your face, and then that's going to come with playing physical. And then, it's a physical game. So if you're asserting yourself physically, another team, you're going to come across guys that want to push back. And, you hear it in post-game interviews all the time with coaches. We had no pushback tonight because, you traveled 50,000 miles in a season. You're in the playoffs. You have that pushback. But as far as the progression of that, I'm sure now if there's a lot more communication on behalf of coaches. So if they see a player that's, a little bit more aggressive and say they had 5 hits that night and then someone challenged them, they're coming out of minor hockey. They didn't know what to do. They know there's fighting in hockey, but then you get the older guys that pull you aside after practice and then you just drop your gloves and just wrestle a little bit to get the feeling of a guy's trying to get loose and get his arm out.
Yes. I see some guys do that. Like they practice like on the ice, just kind of, I know exactly. They kind of wrestling, like wrestling.
Yeah. Cause it's a little bit of jujitsu. You have something on, you have something to grab onto. It's not just boxing there's a little dirty boxing. You get in a clinch and you can throw it like with your head, but it's not like that. You have something to grab onto. So just showing you where to grab. So for example, if a guy's a little bit has a longer reach than you want to grab his biceps, right? So then you can control if he's going over or he's going under. But then again, if you're shorter than the guy you're fighting and you're just grabbed by the collar, I have loose on my arm. So and then learning how to not get scared, just go like this. Keep your eyes up and protect your chin. And then when he throws, duck and getting closer. Okay, so now I'm in leverage. Just
technique.
Starting from different points and then having the grip strength. So I would wrap a towel around a boxing bag. He would be pulling it from the other side. So I have to hold on to it to protect my chin. And then like you did, how we're working on the bag, and then you'd have the jab stick.
Yes.
So when you get tired, people curl up. No, you got to breathe and you got to look, even if you get hit a little bit. Keep your eyes up, breathe. All those small cues, you build them in when you're really tired. So then it really simulates when you're in the real thing. And so there's a progression with it. And then the whole mental side of the confidence to do it. So then I remember my first year, we were getting roughed up a bit when the minors were. It was the wild, wild west. I've seen a few careers ended. You know, it was crazy.
Really, eh?
Yeah, like a flying elbow, guys, just bad stuff. And so we brought in a couple tougher guys, and he pulled me aside after practice because I was bigger, and at the time I was playing in the minors just to give myself a chance. Or the team was to see if I was worth anything, basically.
So time out. Basically, as the bigger guy, you're just assumed to have that role. Like, there's no asking. Like, you're just
okay. Hey, there's guys who are my size. Like I'm the same size as Mario Lemieux. But hey, I don't have 200 points a year. But if I can play defense and I have the skill set to protect a teammate, all of a sudden I'm more valuable than the guy that is my size and plays defense. Okay, but this guy's a little bit tougher. So and that difference is a living in the NHL for a few years or staying in the minors and your career's over 3 or 4 years into it. Or you go play in Europe, you go play in different leagues. But if you, my skill set taps out here. I had a physical edge, got me to here, and gave me some NHL time. And that's, it was a risk that it's worth taking. Or in my life, it was.
Yeah.